Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
You know, the beauty of playing on Monday Night Football is that we get a chance to talk a lot more football leading up to Monday Night Football, and we do that perhaps better than anybody else on stream or on radio or on TV. Definitely in this market. Nobody does it better than the Braylon Edwards Show. He is Braylon Edwards. Justin is with us. Love seeing him. And, of course, Ryan. I saw Justin's tweet last night. Pretty cool that he was impressed with the Red Wings. I was impressed with the Red Wings in a 4-1 win. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's also cool. I believe Amon-Ra St. Brown rung the horn, or he blew the horn yesterday.
He did. That was awesome.
Super cool. I had the opportunity to do that as well, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not an experience that it's fun because it's fun. It's an experience because it's actually dope. Like, it's fun. They come up with different ways in which the horn will go off, or different ways in which to get to the horn blowing each time. So that's super dope. They have good energy around them down there at LCA. So that was dope. And it was fun to watch him, like, embrace the culture. And he was rocking the Mort Sider jersey.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah. It's a beautiful sweater. Yeah.
But I'm glad to be here, man. Good to see Justice Towell in the booth, man. I'm over here. I got my guy Ryan in the audio booth. And I'm just watching them work with the young guys, figuring things out. Feels good to see him give back. This is dope.
I think it's a really cool thing that they do. Like, I've always thought what Minnesota did with the Vikings. Okay, they bring back a legend, and you know they blow that. Yeah, they blow that big horn.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Cool. I love that the Red Wings have done that. I would like the Tigers to do more of that. It's harder probably for hockey just because you have 41 home games. For football, when you only have 8, sometimes perhaps 9 these days, because of the 17-game schedule. Yeah, you can get really 8 good ones.
100%.
You know, so
there's like basically like a backed up waiting list.
I would think so.
Go.
Yeah, and I don't. Lions can't have someone come in and press a button for the roar, which I can't stand personally. But what the Vikings have with that tradition is pretty awesome, and you can go so far back.
So were you trying to say that I only got selected because there's 41 home games?
No.
They had to fill space?
No.
Come on, Shep.
No, like you said, there's a long line. There'd be a long line out there. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, thank you for making me feel special.
Whose jersey did you wear?
That's kind of cold, Shep. I can't lie.
I didn't mean it that
Thank you,
way.
Justin. That's how it
I
felt. That's how it came up, man. Look, man, it's 2025. I'm sensitive, okay?
I apologize.
Feelings.
All right, we'll go
feelings.
see a counselor afterwards. What jersey did you rock? Do you remember? And do you still have it?
100%. Who's the captain?
Dylan Larkin?
Who went to Michigan?
Oh, Dylan. Okay.
I'm
All right.
always repping.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. Because
100%.
Andrew Kopp went to Michigan, too. You could have done that.
It's true. It's true.
So I just wanted to clarify.
I rock Dylan, man. Like, I met Dylan's brother at the Killer Kowalski Christmas. You know about the Killer Kowalski
I
event.
do. Yeah.
100%. I had a chance to go, hang out, bartend. It's a hell of an event. If you get the opportunity, you should go. It supports a great man, some great cause. But anyway, I went there and met him, just hung out with him. He was super cool, super nice, engaging. So even beyond being a Larkin fan, because of the ties, like, his brother was so cool. I was like, hey, you. It's kind of like meeting Ben Verlander. Like, if Ben Verlander's like your guy, even if you don't like even if you don't really familiar with Justin, Justin's going to be your guy because Ben's super cool. So.
Yeah, Dylan Larkin's such a great guy. He had
He
2
is.
assists last night, by the way. I thought, I don't know how much of the game you watched last night. We're not going to talk hockey when they're only 4 games deep, but I would say, I was really impressed with him. Like, Justin's...
Chat was nervous.
It might have been, but Justin's tweet was dead on. I mean, they were physical, and I love that about Florida, quite honestly. I mean, I try not to love on too many opposing teams, but there are certain players. Yeah. You and I have talked endlessly about Fred Warner, for example. There are Bobby Wagner, guys I really like.
The Mike linebacker position.
The Mike linebacker position. I love those guys.
It still represents kind of, I feel like the old NFL we knew has distanced itself a little bit in terms of some of the things we talk about.
Yeah.
I think that Mike linebacker is still quintessential NFL football. It's
I agree.
Still connected to Mike Singletary, still connected to Dick Bucket, still connected to Patrick Willis. I think that's one of the staples that hasn't changed about the game.
I will say that's one of the many things I love talking about with Stan, your father,
Shout out to Pops,
about
man.
some of those old timers like Mike Curtis, who played for the Baltimore Colts at the time.
Happy 45th to my pops, man.
What's that?
I said happy 45th.
It's today's 45th.
It's this weekend. They're honoring the 45th
45th
Rose Bowl,
anniversary. Yeah,
the 45th anniversary. Excuse me, I apologize. The 45th anniversary of the Rose Bowl in 1980, and a bunch of his guys are in town. So the old guys got the juices going. And they're talking about the young regime. So that's cool to see. I think I'm so much. Stan's my father. Excuse me. So much. That's Braylon's father.
Yeah.
Versus, that's Stan's son.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that this weekend I get to be Stan's son.
That's really cool of you, which I'm sure your dad loves. I'm Braylon's father. That's kind
loves
of a
it,
cool
and I
way.
love it. We both love it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So when do they come into town?
They probably start getting in today. I know tomorrow is the actual first event that goes off in Ann Arbor. They're gonna celebrate, probably hang out a little bit. They can't hang out too late. They got an early.
None of us can anymore.
They got an early morning, and then on the morning they'll honor them on the field. Show them out there. So that'd be super cool.
They will they be in a suite and
They
watching
will
that
be.
game? So
Some
you're
of them,
gonna
they'll
go.
reverberate around.
You're gonna go to
suites.
that?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, that's
It's
gonna be special.
I saw something recently, Shep. You appreciate this. It was a highlight of my dad scoring in the Rose Bowl. I obviously scored in the Rose Bowl as well. We're one of 4 families to score father son in the Rose Bowl. You want to try to guess? One I'll help you with. You won't get.
Man, I don't know if I'd be really good like that.
Okay, here you go. Think
immediately
quarterback.
I thought McCaffrey, but
Okay, you're right.
okay, that's one of them.
Easy Ed
So Easy Ed
and Christian.
Both,
Stanford,
yeah,
both of them.
Stanford,
They
yeah.
both score.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Harbaugh?
That father son.
Yeah, father son. Yeah.
Father son. So
Let me think here.
McCaffrey and Ed, or Ed and Christian, they scored. I'll give you a hint. Father son quarterbacks.
Both are quarterbacks
Both are quarterbacks.
in the Rose Bowl.
So it have to be Big Ten or US or Pac-12. Michigan connection.
Billy
one
Joe
of them.
Hobart. No, I'm just kidding.
And his
Bobby
father.
Joe Hobart.
Analyst. His father also undefeated Dolphins.
Greasy. Brian Greasy.
Bob and Brian.
Greasy. Oh, that's a good one.
Bob and Brian. This one.
Because Bob played at Purdue.
Right, 100%
Okay.
Purdue. And then this receiver plays currently for a team in the AFC West. Yes, a team in the AFC West. They're not really good right now.
Boy, instead I was going to go Galloway. I don't know.
That school. He currently plays in the AFC, NFC West. Sorry, NFC West.
Well, Marvin went to Syracuse, so that wouldn't work.
But his son went to.
Ohio State.
There you go. It's Marvin Harrison Jr. My apologies. I meant NFC West.
So Marvin Harrison played in the Rose Bowl while at Syracuse.
Right. So here's the caveat to this.
That's a good. You know what? That's a great trivia question because my mind is strictly Big Ten
100%.
and Pac-12. When boom, a team from the ACC goes.
So
up,
there's
Big
two
East
answers
goes
to
up.
it. Like the caveat is technically we're the only father-son to score in the Rose Bowl game.
Okay.
We scored in the game. Easy Ed and Christian, they played at Stanford. They played at the Rose Bowl against UCLA.
So they didn't score in the Rose Bowl.
Exactly. Marvin Harrison Sr. played UCLA at the Rose Bowl, not in the game. His son played in the game.
What about the Greasies?
The Greasies both were in the actual Rose Bowl game, but they didn't score. They passed.
They passed, right. Brian was passing to Jeremy Tooman or whoever it may
100%.
be.
And
Bob
Ty
Greasy.
Streets.
Yeah, and Bob Greasy. I'm sorry, I couldn't name a Purdue
couldn't
receiver
name
back then. You know.
Like my first recollection is Mike Allstott at Purdue.
Yeah. Purdue actually.
Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson would probably be my first.
Yeah, probably the greatest Purdue football player of all time. Purdue has had some
Brees
really
would
good.
have something to say about that.
Who?
Drew Brees would have something to say about that.
Well, that's a good debate.
I think Rod's a better player for
It's
sure.
a good debate.
Drew has more accolades. Rod's a better player.
Yeah, Rod was better coming out of college. I can tell you
100%.
that. I loved working with Rod Woodson. I did a couple of games with him in Big Ten Network. Purdue used to have some really impressive quarterbacks. Okay, so Jim Everett went there, of course.
Oh,
Gary
infamous.
Danielson went there, of course.
Roan interview.
Yeah. Bob Greasy went there, of course.
Kyle Orton was decent.
So
in college.
they used to brag about some pretty impressive QBs. and obviously Drew Brees. So those guys are all decent players, right? And I'm sure there's a few that I'm missing, but overall, like I'm not going to bring up who's the kid who played for the Raiders?
Kyle Orton. Oh, you're not bringing him. Oh, the new one, Aiden McConnell.
Aiden
O'Connell.
Yeah.
Oh, what about David Blau, Detroit's favorite quarterback?
Yeah, I don't think he'd belong in the same conversation, but he did make it to the pros, so there is a possibility there. We're going to talk a lot of football today, so I'm pretty excited about it. That means on Thursday, what are we doing? We are doing Braylon's Breakdown, and this is one of the beauties. And I say this before every show, and people are like, yeah. Well, this is true. We're going to see some wide receiver, we're going to see some defensive tackle, but it's not necessarily what we've seen this year. So Alim McNeill is going to play, and the easy thing to do is just to ask an ex-football player, hey, listen, what is he going to help? And him tell you. This time on the Braylon's Breakdown, Braylon's going to show you what Alim McNeill is going to bring to this defensive line. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
It's a lot of pressure, man. We got new faces. We got new eyes. I know Justin's in there trying to see what it looks like in
person. There's a lot of pressure for you.
God
almighty, yeah. God forbid you play in front of 115,000 people.
What's different?
And now you're doing it. You're waiting for the chat to be really fired up for you. So I wanted to ask you real quick about guys who are dirty players, because you and I spoke briefly yesterday, and after our conversation about Bruce Arians, and in case you missed it, Bruce Arians had said, Brian Branch should get three game suspension instead of 1 game suspension. And during my radio show this morning, somebody had said Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are dirty. And I'd like us all to try and define what dirty is. Because I can't go back. I can't turn the clock back and say, well, Jack Tatum, because it's not played the same way. I can't talk about Rodney Harrison. It's not played the same way. I can't talk about Deacon Jones or Dick Butkus and guys like that, because it's not played that way anymore. Chuck Cecil was a missile, all right? He probably wouldn't last in today's football because of the way he played. Or Andre Waters. Andre Waters played for the Eagles. Yeah. He was a badass as a safety. What's the difference between dirty and a guy who just plays football really hard?
Because there's a line in football. Like, there's a line with guys that legitimately are playing hard. Guys that are physical players. They want to legitimately make every play the most. They want to exude all 100% of themselves into the tackle, into the play, into the block, into whatever it is. These guys are individuals that play the game at a high level. They play at a high competition level. They play at a high physical level, and they're trying to play within the means of the game, but they're just playing physical, and they press it to the line, But these individuals that are just football players, that are really good football players, or that one might say, that's a damn good defensive player, or that's a damn good offensive lineman, that's someone that's, this is the right way to play the game. They never get past that line to a point where you're like, is that dirty? Was that dirty? They never put you in a situation more than once or twice to where you're asking yourself, man, is this a dirty player?
Yeah.
Is this guy dirty? Dirty players are individuals that do things that are extra. They go that one step to, here's the line. I know I'm at the line. You know what? Why the hell not? They go that extra step and they turn an ankle in the pile, or they give that extra elbow into the side of the neck, or they do those plays. Those are dirty players. And what they do, dirty players also have, because they know they're dirty, they've got the side note. Let me stop. You know what I noticed on this highlight yesterday on our Braylon's Breakdown? You guys are not friends. Like, you guys are not my friends. You know why? Because my lips were so ashy when I went on that rant about the refs. I went back. I watched it online. I had to joke on myself before.
What do you mean ashy? What are you talking about?
My lips are ashy. They're white because I was rambling a lot talking about the refs. Like, I got to take a sip of water. Yeah. Maybe pull out some chapstick from time to time.
Okay.
But as my teammate, let me know this. Well, don't just let me go in with these ashy lips.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Well noted. I would just say, you didn't ramble.
Well,
okay.
Right. Now, I didn't. I ranted appropriately with ashy lips.
You were very eloquent in how you expressed your frustration.
Thank you.
Is that all right? No offense. I wasn't looking at your lips.
I appreciate
You know,
that. But
you're
they did a great job
you're a
of
good-looking
zooming
guy
in.
and all that other stuff, but I'm not going there.
I
All right.
appreciate that.
All I'm
That's
doing
what-
is listening, and I'm going. You know what? He's making a good point here. Let me write this down. He makes a good point here. Let me write this down. I am not looking at your physical features.
All right, fair
Okay.
enough. When you're on the field of play as a wide receiver, I go over the middle, I make plays, I catch passes. There's pile-ups from time to time. I'm a tall guy. Sometimes it takes a couple people to bring me down. That leads more people to come to the pile. You know the guys that are extra because you legitimately know when a play is over. You know when the refs have called the play dead or it's about, and you just feel that extra shove in your neck. You might feel a cleat on your ankle. You might feel like somebody stepped down, pressed down. These are dirty players. And also, too, when they know they're dirty, they'll do these things in spaces to where it takes some camera ingenuity to get in there to figure out what they're doing, to actually pull them out. Now it's just you can see it as clear as day because there's so many cameras. When
Can't get away with much anymore.
When I
can
played,
you?
you still kind of had to dive through some stuff. Those are dirty players. The guys that do the extra stuff, we know as players, and you can even see as a crowd. The guy, the defensive tackle from Clemson, Christian Wilkinson, and the extra stuff that he was doing. Now that may not be, that's some kind of dirty, if you will, but it's extra, it's unwarranted, it's unnecessary. Those are dirty players.
Who's the bar? Ndamukong Suh?
Vontez Burfict.
Good one.
I think Vontez
Bill
Burfict,
Romanowski?
he's definitely on that list.
Yeah.
Jack Tatum, if you want to go back that far.
Yep.
But-
Conrad Dobler, that's before your time. Your dad would know it. You guys are all too young, but Conrad Dobler was an offensive lineman for what was then the St. Louis Cardinals with Jim Hart as the quarterback, Terry Metcalf as the tailback, and Roy Green as a wide receiver. But he allegedly would bite guys' fingers at the bottom of piles.
Let
He
me
would
explain
kick
how
guys.
dirty Bill Romanowski is to you individuals that don't know him. First of all, Bill Romanowski had one of the strongest grips that I've ever shaken. I shook his hand one time at an event. Didn't want to, didn't like the guy. I was working the event. It's part of the game. It's called playing politics. I shook this man's hand. This is one of the strongest, aggressive, thick-fingered handshakes that I've ever in my life witnessed or been a part of. This same individual used to get in trouble all the time. Players would talk about him all the time. In the pile, him grabbing, and now his hand, bigger than mine, mind you, grabbing a handful of men's jewels and squeezing as hard as he can. And he's got one of the strongest handshakes that I told you about. Those are dirty players. That's Bill Romanowski. He also spit in the player's face, punched the guy's eye socket out. That's dirty. When you don't have real recourse for what you do to an individual, not only do you need help, you're a dirty player.
What about, I remember Bart Scott went low on Reggie Bush, and people called that dirty, and he never lived it down.
I don't think Bart. I know Bart. Bart's not a dirty player.
Well, I'm not saying he is. I'm telling you, when you look at lists of dirty players, his name is on it. All right? And when people go low, it's the reason Kirby Joseph is on people's list today is because
Higbee
of
and Hockenson. Because of Higbee and Hockenson. And the thing that I appreciate about both of those tight ends, one came out and said, as my former teammate, he is not a dirty player. That was Hockenson. And then even Higbee came out and said, I don't think it was a dirty move. Now, Matt Stafford and his wife had other things to say.
Well, who cares about his wife?
But Higbee came out and said, I don't think it was a dirty move. And Hockenson said, as my former teammate, I know it wasn't a dirty move. But do you notice since then, he doesn't tackle in that same fashion, though. Because those two tackles are very similar, and they're very close to the rule.
So what does that tell you? If he doesn't tackle that way any longer, do you think he was put on notice?
Yes, I believe he took notice, and he believes that because you injured two types of players with a type of tackle that is on the line of something that is banned. I think you as a non-dirty player, which I don't believe Kirby Joseph is a dirty player, I think he was undisciplined at times, but I don't think he was a dirty player. I think you look back and say, you know what, I can do a better job. There's a better way in which I can tackle because at the end of the day, different teams, same brotherhood.
So here's how we also have to look at how we define dirty. So this is how I kind of define it. If somebody is doing something to you in an unexpected way and you are not ready for it. So if you've been tackled and somebody punches you after you've been tackled, if you have your back turned and somebody does something that you can't see coming. Now, is Brian Branch a dirty player? Based on what he did, taking a helmet taking a helmet and throwing it like he did against Green Bay, flipping the fans off like he did in Green Bay, that doesn't make you a dirty player.
Yeah.
What he did against Juju Smith-Schuster may constitute dirtiness, according to many people. My definition, probably not, because Schuster could have seen it coming, but maybe I'm towing the line of being more of a Lions homer there. Do you think Brian Branch is a dirty player?
I think you're definitely towing the line in terms of being a homer. But however, no, I don't think he's a dirty player. I think he's a very undisciplined player. I think he's a very passionate player. I think he's a very aggressive, physical player. But Brian Branch knows he's good enough where he doesn't have to be a dirty player. He's just dumb at times, in moments. Like when he comes to this podium and he talks about, I apologize. I know that's not. He knows this already. Nick Saban taught him that. Nick Saban taught him that in Tuscaloosa. So he's not a dirty player. He's an aggressive, passionate, damn good, but undisciplined at times player. And that leads us to moments like Green Bay, like the end of the game. Like, it's not a dirty thing with him. He's just undisciplined at times, and it's something that, we're talking about in circles, but it needs to be addressed. We need to work on it. Because like we talked about the other day, Kirby Joseph got paid already. And after Kirby Joseph got paid, you see less penalties, less of that tackling like that, less of those things.
You think that's that much of a factor, huh?
I think so. Because you don't want that moniker on you, and then you also don't want this to be true. Because it takes away from how good you are. Like if you're a really good player and you do things the right way, or you know yourself to be a good player and you do things the right way, you have a couple foul-ups, it can become who you are. And if you stay that course and you say, well, since they're already against me, this is already what it is, they have me pegged as this, and you stay in that place, you're not going to get out of it.
I think players know it better than anybody. I think you know it a lot better than I do. I could make the case, based on your definition, that Ndamukong Suh was an emotional player, a passionate player, but undisciplined at times too. Letting the moment get the best of you, to me, helps describe what undisciplined players go through.
This is true, but Ndamukong Suh put himself in a situation where he could hurt people.
Yeah. Like
when you're now in a space where you can hurt an individual, like that's the definition of a dirty player. Like that's over the passion. This is not, I can hurt someone within a play because of how physical I am, or because I'm a tackler, because I'm strong. This is me doing something directly when someone's not paying attention to how you described it, and then applying a type of pressure that could hurt an individual to where they might miss a game. They might miss a season.
Or, affect their career. That's what I was just going to say.
That's dirty.
Yes.
Like that is dirty. That means you don't.
That's a great explanation.
Yeah, that's definitely dirty.
Yeah. We're going to get down and dirty with Braylon's breakdown at 3 o'clock.
I can't wait. It's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be really, really good.
I got a player that needs to be featured.
Okay.
I'll stop there.
When I come back, though, or when we come back, I should say, I do want to talk a little bit. We want to dip into some college football. Michigan, not just because they're celebrating the 45th anniversary of that Rose Bowl team that Stan Edwards was on, but also it's a big game for Sharon Moore, Michigan, when they take on Washington. That's happening at the Big House this weekend. We'll talk about it. Just how important do you think it is for their head coach and their program in general? That's coming up after this from Ben Johnson.
He's your attorney. He should be your attorney. I'll tell you why he should be your attorney. His corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it takes to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. Now, with Ben Johnson, he's going to get to the bottom of this and make sure you get all that's coming to you and make sure you're not on the hook for what you don't need to be on the hook for. So make him your first call, make him your attorney, and make him the firm that you use. It's Ben Johnson Law. How you get in touch? Go to venfights.com. Contact them today. I'm telling you, from me to you, he's the guy you should choose.
Hey, whether you're a diehard Spartans fan or you bleed blue, maize and blue Wolverines, we want you to make sure you're aware of what's going on for that big game. The Woodward Sports College Football Show is going live. You are looking live at Art and Jake's in Lansing on October 25th for that epic showdown between the Wolverines and Spartans that you never know what's going to happen. When rivalry games take place, you just never know. And you know what you're getting, though, at Art and Jake's in Lansing. What you're going to get, 80 TVs to show you the game and other games. You're going to have 22 beers on tap. You're going to have really good food, the perfect food for this type of rivalry game. No better place to catch all the action with Woodward Sports College Football Show at Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill there in Lansing. Download the Art and Jake's app and join AJ's fan club and make every game day a winning day.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith,
New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
It's your journey at Planet Fitness, where we'll welcome you because there's no judgment here at our gym, home of the judgment-free zone. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, it should be the gym for you. There's one all around this great state, and guess what, man? Like I said, there's no judgment. You're just getting into your journey. That's fine. I, too, once started my journey and started at Planet Fitness after I had retired, and it got me back to where I wanted to be because they had trainers with every membership, and also aqua hydro massage chairs. They have all that for you. Then they got weight machines. They have all the machines you need, the cardio room. They have bands. They got balls. They what you going to do it all. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
You know what's essential? When you go to any type of tailgate or you're going to have a party watching a game, like we were talking about Michigan State at Art and Jake's, whatever the case may be, that you're enjoying yourself, but you're enjoying yourself responsibly and with something that tastes good. So Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea is the perfect definition. It's the perfect remedy for you. It's just 100 calories. It's 4.5% alcohol. It really is. It's crisp. It's clean. It's real vodka. It's real iced tea in a perfect mix. Like, that picture looks really good, but it doesn't really do it justice for just how much it can quench your thirst. It's really tasty, and it's perfect for tailgates. It's perfect for parties at home, whatever the case may be. It's Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea and Woodward Sports, a great combination, but please drink responsibly.
And we're back.
We've got some super chats we want to get to. Justin Satal is going to do that for us. If there's anything out there that he thinks is important you should know as you watch the Braylon Edwards show, he will chime in with that as well. There's a lot of folks involved in the chat. I love some of the names they have brought up of dirty players because that's how we started the show. Really good stuff. Really appreciate the feedback. Somebody had written Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green was mean. I never considered him a dirty player. You're too young. Everybody's probably too young.
No, I'm not. But that's the thing. I'm glad you said that because people have James Harrison on the list. Look, like, those guys were aggressive as hell, physical as hell. They weren't dirty. They didn't have to be dirty. They were scary enough to where they didn't have to. Mean Joe Green, saw his highlights, wasn't dirty. He was scary. He wasn't dirty.
He was a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that. And now, was Dick Butkus? Yes.
Yeah, he was nasty.
He's a man who literally hated people, chased Altie Taylor into the Tiger Stadium stands, tried to rip guys' heads off. That was dirty.
He admitted it, though.
He admitted it. He didn't care.
I mean,
he was probably, I would argue, the most intimidating force the National Football League has ever seen. Was Jack Lambert dirty? He was pretty intimidating. That linebacking crew is arguably the greatest the sport has ever had, him, Jack Ham, and Andy Russell. I don't know. But like I say, players know better than anybody else. There is a difference between aggression and playing physical. Like, I don't think Mike Singletary was, but he was as physical as they get. Ray Lewis wasn't dirty, but he was as physical as they got.
Sneaky.
Really, I mean, just badasses, and I absolutely love it. So it's interesting, some of the names brought up in the chat, and thank you for some of those because I really enjoyed reading them.
Was dirty.
Hines Ward.
I think Hines Ward was a dirty player.
Isn't it interesting? We assume, maybe this is
that
just
one
me.
shocks me.
I assume dirty player with defensive player.
Hines Ward was,
and we don't think maybe offense.
Hines Ward, he put his helmet in a lot of sternums when guys weren't looking, and like it's one thing to block players when they're looking. Like I had my fair share of crackbacks. The big receiver, I love it. I will knock you out if you're not paying attention. Hines Ward, he was on a level to where it was like, damn, like he got a family at home, right?
I got an
like,
an offensive player, and
Good.
and I loved him too. Odell Beckham Jr. He was a dirty player. There were multiple times where he went in for cheap shots on guys' heads and their ribs during games when he would get a little up in his feelings.
I would not have guessed that. I had mentioned an offensive player earlier in Conrad Dobler. I just don't think we automatically associate it with offensive players. I guess I wouldn't have picked that.
Watch that footage that Justin's talking about, because what I remember of Odell is a lot of players on opposite teams hated who he was, hated his swag, hated all the dancing and the goofy stuff, and they used to go after him. Like a bunch of games, whether it was Josh Norman, whether it was that Dolphins game where everybody was going against him, whether it was the Rams game where he fought against everybody in the game and still ended up at like 170 yards. Like, I don't know about that one. I got to fact check you, Justin.
Somebody also said Dick Night Train Lane, who's one of the greatest Lions of all time.
Most interceptions in the season, 14.
They changed some rules with him in there. He was intimidating. I can't speak to that because I never saw him play, so I can't tell if he's dirty. Jack Tatum is definitely dirty, not because of what he did with Darryl Stingley, and he paralyzed him, because he was a consistent headhunter.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And he might be the most dirtiest player of all time. But keep them coming. We appreciate it. It's really good stuff. Speaking of the chat, let's get to some super chats, Justin, before we move on and talk a little Michigan football and how big that game is against Washington this weekend.
Absolutely. And we also got some Braylon's breaking news that I'll drop after I hit you with these super chats. We got nobody with the $5. This might be a dumb question, but is the Rose Bowl exclusively Big Ten and the extinct Pac-12 #RIP?
It used to be. It used to be.
Not any longer.
Big Ten and Pac-12, but now you can. Anybody and the game's just a game now, so you can.
Primarily because there is no Pac-12.
No.
They do try to give it to a Big Ten team though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do. For the aesthetic, they attempt, but
but it's not necessarily Pac-12.
Because
unfortunately, there's two teams left.
The game doesn't even have the same effect anymore.
You don't think so? You would like to have it go back to the way it was?
No.
Pac-12 champ against Big Ten champ?
I don't want that anymore. Like, I'm not, hey, you guys get off my lawn. I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't have that same feel.
Well, yeah, now it's a quarterfinal game.
Exactly. It's just a game.
There's no push to it.
It used to be dry. The Tournament of Roses behind it, the parades. Like, it was the granddaddy of them all, according to my guy, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. Do
you guys miss that? Do you,
I do.
Honestly, I mean, I know how people feel about the 12-team tournament, and everybody wanted it.
Trash.
I was probably on an island there. I never wanted it because I thought it was way too many teams, and I don't think it solved a damn thing. And I still don't think it solves a damn thing. I love tradition, but I've got to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, people have told me that time and time again. I don't have to see Michigan and Stanford, which was the first ever Rose Bowl, by the way. I don't have to see that. But I did get a sense there was always a feel for a Big Ten school against a Pac-12 school. Michigan, Alabama a couple of years ago, that was pretty cool, right?
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I think that
Penn State, Utah a few years ago.
Yeah,
but that was Pac-12 as well. So I kind of wish that too. So do I. So anyway.
All right, let me keep it going. Michael Weary with the $2 super chat. So Bray, what category is Juju in then? Is he just a coward?
Yeah, I think Juju's.
That's a good question.
I think Juju had a retaliation hit on Vontaze Burfict after Vontaze Burfict knocked out Antonio Brown. I think that was more retaliation than anything. So I'll give him a pass in that regard. But I think he's an annoying little gnat. Like, I will say that. He does a lot of little, for lack of a better word, you know what I really want to say that I can't. 5-letter word starts with a B. He does a lot of those type moves and those type things. I don't think he's a dirty player. He's just a
Who was it? The player who went on a podcast recently and said Brian Branch is doing the work of
Zaire
God.
Franklin.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, 100%.
He said he's doing the work of
That's
God
real.
because Juju Smith-Schuster is just what you said.
Ever since Juju Smith-Schuster ruined his beginning of the season trying to do the crate challenge and he fell and bust his ass, I said, I can't wait till somebody knock him out. Can't wait till somebody knocks him out.
Okay. Anything? Any more
one
super
more
chat?
super chat, and then the two pieces of breaking news that I
like
have.
Juju.
Dante 151 with the $4.99 super chat. Hell, that to Mason Rudolph when I think he meant tell that to Mason Rudolph when Myles Garrett damn near grabbed Rudolph's helmet and tried to play whack-a-mole with his head.
That's you know what? That was just a few years ago. That's an excellent example.
Yeah.
Excellent example. Nobody. I like Myles Garrett a lot. So let's cards on the table. That play right there. If Ndamukong Suh does it, what are people saying? If Brian Branch did it tomorrow or does it Monday night, oh, he's not playing. Next time, okay, against Minnesota, what are people saying? Myles Garrett does it, and where's that suspension? Where's that dirty? Where's that dirty label?
And he got suspended 6 games for that. I remember when.
Did he really?
Yeah, he
did. Okay. I thought he
remember,
just got fined.
No.
Okay.
He got suspended for it. And I remember when it happened. And it was one of those things. The NFL has always been about it's any sport. If you win, they forget about things. Or if you're successful, they forget about things. He got suspended 6. It was all this, that, and the third. Next year, he had like 17 sacks. It was, we're good. We forget about it.
Yeah.
Hard stop, dirty move. Hard stop, dirty move. That was dirty. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I would like to know what happened in that game. Much like a lot of people were talking about the Brian Branch situation and how Patrick Mahomes did this, that, and third, how he got cheap shot. What happened to make you take your helmet and swing it at a quarterback that didn't have his helmet on? In fact, it was his helmet that you swung.
Yeah.
What made him that angry to swing that helmet at that player? That would just be an interesting conversation for when he retires and when he's ready to get on these podcasts.
Yeah, you would think with today's social media that would have been exposed by now.
Because you just don't swing your helmet at a helmetless player in a game, mind you.
Yeah. Well, again, I think the point is that he has escaped the dirty player label.
What other move outside of that? What other play? Like Ndamukong Suh had like 4.
I'm not trying to compare the two.
I just said like outside of that, what other move for him? You say he escaped it. So that means you've seen multiple plays and he hasn't been caught. What are those other plays?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
And maybe they aren't.
Okay.
I'm saying when you have a play like that you remember so vividly.
Yeah, it was
and
horrible
it's
play.
and it's 6 suspensions or 6-game suspension. Brian Branch is getting a 1-game suspension. And he's being labeled that. Kirby Joseph has been labeled that, and that was 2. And as you mentioned, and it's great information. 2 tight ends have come out and both said neither one's a dirty play. I mean, how much more validity do you need? No offense, but I don't care what a lot of us think. If a player comes out and says, "Look, that guy's not dirty," that means more to me than me looking at it on TV and looking at the slow motion replay.
Yeah.
So if those guys still have to live with that label, the question is why Myles Garrett doesn't have to live with his. And like I said, I've already stated I like him. Justin, what's the breaking news?
Breaking news, 2 pieces of important information for this football game coming up on Monday night between the Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. Mike Evans practiced today as well as Taylor Decker.
Well, that's good news.
Are practicing with their respective teams today.
Okay, so that's good news for Decker. And it's really good news for Tampa with Mike Evans.
Yeah, it's darn good for the Detroit Lions and what it means to the pass pro as well as the run pro. They're just not the same team without Taylor Decker in there on offense. They got to have the big guy in there, and this is one of those games you talked about. Alim McNeill playing this week with a bye week looming next week. Same thing for Taylor Decker with a bye week looming next week. We get him out there. We need him to go. This is one of those games. This is 1 versus 1. This is best versus best. This is a team in which they have some injuries too, but damn it, they're going to be a great team. It's going to be a solid team. We play them at home. We need the big guy, like flat out, point blank.
I do think Taylor Decker's a really good example of you don't know what you got until it's gone. It's a phrase from a lot of different songs, but it really is. You don't know what you got until it's gone. When he is out, you see how fragile might be a little bit of a strong word, but I think it's appropriate here, how fragile things can be on the left side. He's an anchor. Yeah. They need him.
You realize more than ever, three teams, there are three teams, but let's focus on two, that are realizing when you have to replace all pro level type of offensive lineman, how your team changed. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. No Landon Dickerson, no Lane Johnson. The big fella left side was out, and they legitimately look like a completely different team. They've actually abandoned the run and now going to the pass. So for the Detroit Lions, you have to replace a right guard. You have to replace a center, and it starts to get better. And then your your left tackle, who's been there the longest, now he's out. Like when the Lions have had woes in the last 3-4 years, it's been a common denominator. Not even just injuries, a specific injury. It's been offensive line.
To specific guys, yeah. And that
Frank Ragnow, when he was missing games with his toe, and Taylor Decker, it's been the offensive line when they haven't had those guys is when you see some give in there, man. They're not the same rushing attack. When you're not the same rushing attack, you can't be the same play action attack. The Detroit Lions are number one in play action the last 2 years because the running attack was so well. They haven't been able to run the ball like that, so now they're not able to use the play action so well, and that's why they've been struggling a little bit on third down. I'll highlight all that in Braylon's breakdown and tell them what they need to do. But
yeah, pretty excited for that. And if people think what does that have to do with Mike Evans? I mean, Mike Evans is one of those deep threat weapons. He's just as consistent a receiver as anybody else in his generation. Remember what the key to Detroit's success was early on against Kansas City. That first drive was 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, took a while.
If Detroit could do that, against Tampa, because Baker Mayfield, it doesn't seem to matter who he's throwing to. So last week he's throwing to Cam Johnson, he's throwing to Kate Otten, he's throwing to Tez Johnson, and Tez Johnson gets in the end zone and does that cool flip, and he thinks everybody's saying MVP about him, so on and so forth, and he had to be reminded they're talking about Baker. Baker Mayfield seems to be able to find a lot of different guys. They're going to have Bucky Irving back this week. It's going to be really important that Detroit's offense do similar to what their offense did at the start of the game against Kansas City, almost helped the defense out a little bit, don't you think?
Baker's Baker. He's going to do what he does. Look, we'll figure that thing out, but just pay attention to what the defenses have done that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have faced. What the offenses have done. The key is passing the ball. This secondary wants you to throw the ball on them. You don't have to reinvent the wheel when you play teams. I.e., Seattle last week, Sam Darnold, 28 of 34, 341, 4 touchdowns. Who's a better quarterback, Sam Darnold or Jared Goff? Don't worry, I'll wait. Mac Jones, 27 of 39, 347 on this same Tampa Bay defense.
2 picks, no TDs, but he did throw for a lot of yards.
Who's a better quarterback?
Right.
Mac Jones, Jared Goff.
Right.
I go back to that. Jalen Hurts, he's struggling this year.
Oh, big time.
He's struggling. Well, somehow in this game, he was 15 of 24 and 2 touchdowns. The yardage does not matter. He found 2 touchdowns. He found some yards. And then C.J. Stroud was having a up and down year.
Yeah.
He's 15 of 21, 201, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. The common denominator is pass the ball on his defense. This secondary is allowing you to get the ball down the field. You don't have to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. Because last time I checked, what's the wide receiver that plays for the San Francisco 49ers? I got him, KJ Osborne.
Yeah.
Kendrick Osborne.
Kendrick, yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick
Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne. Yeah. Guess what? Yeah, he went for 140 on this Tampa Bay team.
Yeah.
So realistically, you got the horses in the stable.
He had 9 targets.
And went for 140. Yeah. So it's a very simple common denominator. Yeah. You got guys. In fact, your wide receivers are better than every wide receiver they played against.
Yeah.
In Amon-Ra St. Brown. So you guys got to be able to protect up front, and it starts with having Taylor Decker back. You protect up front. You got some horses in the stable. There's one in which I want you to feature this week. They got the horses in the stable. You don't have to go against the grain. The grain is their secondary is giving up bombs. Their secondary is giving up passing to quarterbacks. The last time I checked, are not better than your quarterback.
Right. So that's even important for Taylor Decker to be in there. So thank you, Justin, for that breaking news there. That's good news for the Lions, and obviously it's good news for Tampa as well. All right, Michigan is playing Washington. The big festivities, you're going to be there. I know you're looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of people are. How important of a game is this for Sharon Moore? Now, somebody said to me this morning on my show, they said, this could be a telltale season for Sharon Moore, similar to that of Jonathan Smith at Michigan State. And I said, well, hold on a second. Sharon Moore's beaten Alabama. He's beaten Ohio State twice. He's beaten Penn State. He's beaten Michigan State. let's be careful before we start pushing that narrative, but that's the way it is in college athletics these days, because many people assume that if you're at Michigan, you have an advantage because of the NIL and the ability to use your financial resources to pay players. Right. With that said, Jed Fish in Washington's coming to town. You're coming off an embarrassment. It was embarrassing. The loss to USC was embarrassing because we view Big Ten teams as physical. SEC's got the speed, right? Utah's got all those Samoas who are really big and strong. Michigan and Big Ten teams that are successful are supposed to be physical, and USC punched you in the mouth. How big do you think it is for him this weekend?
I don't think it's as big as everybody's making it out to be. I think it's a big game in the sense of your season. You're 4-2 currently. Excuse me. Yeah, you're currently 4-2. Are they 4-2?
Yeah. 4-2, yep.
Yeah, 4-2. I 100%. They had a bye week, right? You're currently 4-2 with the schedule. You're still in the mix of things. You still play a favorable schedule. This is a team in USC. Yes, they got to win, but they also came out here and lost to Illinois. This is a Washington team that is beatable. They're a good team. They're not a great team. They're beatable. They have to come out here. You have to figure it out. So I don't think it's an over-the-top, must-win, desperation game. I just need everybody to relax. Like, I'm not in the business of making excuses because it's Michigan, so this is not that. It's just the truth. Everybody pipe down. Like, everybody relax, because the best player in Michigan's team right now has been Justice Haynes, who you talked about should win the Heisman, and rightfully so in terms of what his numbers were, or just be in some form of the conversation. The game was 7-7 when he was healthy. All of a sudden, he gets hurt, and now the game takes his turn. Now, horrible on defense the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But remember that. Remember, this is also a team where everybody wants Sharon gone all of a sudden. Everybody wants to crack jokes about, the Bryce Underwood situation. You guys got the number one player. Also, remember when this number one player came to this team. This is a team that was still trying to figure it out off the edges of last season, what last season was, and all the losses that they had, including a head coach, including 17 players to the NFL, et cetera, et cetera. You got Bryce Underwood, congratulations. You got him in the 25th hour.
Yeah.
When guys get that quarterback, when guys get the number one player, the 5-star, they usually are going to a place for 2 years, which allows those wide receivers, those tight ends, those players that want to play with that guy, that keynote, it allows them to go to that institution as well. You didn't get that. So Michigan is still technically recruiting for Bryce Underwood and what this can be. I urge you to pause, calm down, and take a second.
Yeah, I don't know if people use this game at Michigan because Washington's already played Ohio State and lost 24-6, and they will use that as a measuring stick of how they may size up against the Buckeyes. But when you look at what Washington has done, and maybe this puts added pressure from the outside, not from the inside, but from the outside, on Sharon Moore and his team. When they've played Colorado State, UC Davis, Washington State, Maryland, and Rutgers. Those are the wins for Washington.
Yeah.
There might be a part of some people, and they might have a very good explanation and debate about this, taking the stance that if you don't beat them, because they haven't really beaten quote-unquote anybody, even though I don't believe in that moniker, that puts you more in the crosshairs than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't play good football in the second half of that USC game. It was embarrassing to watch. And then Sharon Moore comes to the podium. They crack jokes about the blue collar. It was kind of funny. But, this is a recoup week. This is you get back, you figure out what it is. Now, I will say this. This is not a must-win game.
No.
But at the same time, it can't look a certain way. This is a game that can't look a certain way. I am not that naive and I'm not that biased where I understand this can't look like last week.
Yeah.
Because then serious questions are coming.
If you're in Washington right now, you're not fearing U of M at all.
Because there's no consistency to Michigan.
Yeah, and because when you look at their schedule and you say they've beaten New Mexico and they've beaten my alma mater and they've beaten Nebraska and they've beaten Wisconsin, but they've lost to USC and they've lost to Oklahoma. They've lost to the two. You used this example yesterday, and it was a good one. The two best teams on their slate so far have beaten them and beaten them rather handily.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm not looking at is his job on the line. I don't think that's fair. I think it's kind of silly, quite honestly. I think it's kind of silly against Michigan State too. But you said what I was hoping you would say, and that is it has to look a certain way.
100%. Like this is a big game in the sense of how does this look compared to last week? Like if they win this game, if Michigan wins this game, this will be a big win. This will be a big win. It'll be big momentum. It'll be right on time, letting you know that it is a serious game. But if they go out there and it looks a certain way, it looks better than it did last week, and you're in one of these fights, so be it. We'll figure it out. If I'm Washington, though, to your point, I'm not fearing Michigan right now. Like if I'm watching the film, if I'm watching the team, if I'm University of Washington, I'm like, this is our well, I guess back-to-back get back because they beat us last year and right after the national championship. So I wouldn't be worried about Michigan. There's nothing that they've done on a consistent basis. They haven't been able to target Samaj Morgan consistently. They haven't been able to target Klein consistently. Their running back is hurt.
When he's healthy.
100%. He's been in and out and confused. And then on the outside, Donovan McCauley. One time you see him and he looks like number one. He looks like guys making plays. I've seen this number before. I've seen these plays before. But then also he goes quiet and you don't see him for a quarter and a half. You don't see him for 2 quarters. So who is Michigan going to be in this game and how are they going to be? I will say this. Up front, you have got to be better. Like that's what Shep's talking about. The physicality up front, you have got to be better. The reason why Michigan went on that historic run, and yes, they were better offensive linemen at the time, and yes, they gelled together for 4 years, 5 years, and they went on that Joe Moore award 2 years in a row. Could have won it 3 years in a row. But it was physicality and it was an attitude. Has to be an attitude out of these guys up front.
I think you said before the season began, you thought Michigan would lose 2, maybe 3 games at the most. This is the run that they can put together right now where you could legitimately say, and I think they will be, I don't know if they are yet, I haven't looked at the spreads, but they would be favored in the next 5 games. Okay? And then the last game, it's dealer's choice, but it helps probably to be in Ann Arbor, but it is against the number 1 team in the country. Rivalry games, you can throw that out, so you can probably do that against MSU, and it's a rivalry game, throw out records and things of that nature.
What happens when Ohio State benches all their starters when they're undefeated and it doesn't matter that they beat Michigan or not? Like, are we in an era that's on the table?
I think it's always going to matter.
Yeah.
I do. Now, I've been proven wrong, by the way, on that.
I don't think it matters anymore based off what happened last year. I told you the conversations that I had with individuals that are fans of Ohio State, like legitimately my whole life having conversations with them. If they lose to Michigan, like they're miserable. Like I lived in Ohio. It didn't happen when I was living there, but I can only imagine. Like they're miserable. Like they could care less about what they've done if they haven't beaten that team up north. Everybody I ran into after the national championship that was running around, they said, we won the national championship, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, but y'all lost us. So what? We won the Natty. Yeah. That's now the new attitude.
But that's if you win the national championship. If it ends in a different way and you lose to Michigan. So in other words, if you lose the national championship, then how much worse would they feel? I think then it would matter a little bit more. Is that fair? I think so.
It's fair, but I'll let Justin jump in. But the fact that you would even do that, let you know
your mind would go there.
The fact that you would even take that chance, like, we'll rest everybody. We're worried about the field of 12, lets you know that it no longer really matters.
Yeah, I think it takes away from the game for sure because the way that this Big Ten schedules are shaping out to be, Ohio State's going to finish the year undefeated. And going into this Michigan game, they play no one. Michigan should go undefeated from here on out. Like you said, Shep, they are going to be favored in every single game. What I'm curious about is this has turned into like a 2-team race at the top of the Big Ten right now between Ohio State and Indiana. If both teams are undefeated and already have it locked up, I question whether or not Ohio State would be willing to play the Jeremiah Smiths, the Downses of their team, in order to just beat Michigan instead of worrying about the Big Ten title, the national championship.
I think that's a legitimate mindset. I'm not discluding it at all, but I think Caleb Downs would want to beat Michigan at some point. He never beat him. You had seniors on that Ohio State team last year who never beaten Michigan. Nope. Don't tell me there isn't some type of sour taste in their mouth, even though they won a national championship, because they have to live with that when they go back to campus and homecoming and so on and so forth.
Oh, they didn't get gold pants.
They didn't get gold pants, right?
Sad.
But people will. They'll say, "Look, we won the national title," and then somebody who also won a national title but also beat Michigan has that over you. I do think it matters. At least I hope it matters. I really do. When you start seeing that, though, Justin, that's when you know college football has gone too far.
Gone to the NFL standard.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Day is the coach that will prove Justin Satawa correct.
I also think.
Oh, you think he would pull guys?
Yeah, 100%.
I was going to say I would think he would prove Justin Satawa wrong. I thought he's that kind of guy who would do that.
He's an idiot, but I don't know if he's that type. I believe he's along the side of, well, we're good. We don't need to worry about it. He strikes me as that. He's the same guy that lost to Michigan last year. He's the same guy that was like, nah, I'm just going to run the ball. Like, we'll beat them there.
Who didn't adjust, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I also think the moment that we see Michigan and Ohio State, if they ever get to this point, play each other in the playoff and say, hypothetical, Michigan beats them in the regular season, Ohio State wins in the postseason in the playoff, then we will 100% see what Justin said, I think, the following year because of what happened in the postseason. That game ultimately mattered the most.
Yeah, that's a good point. It will really disappoint me, frustrate me, anger me, use whatever adjective you want, when you start seeing rivalries like Michigan, Ohio State, and some of the SEC rivalries. Pick one, Alabama, Georgia. Alabama, Georgia is usually at the beginning of the year. And we're talking about how Ohio State was resting or Michigan was resting some good players because they wanted to save them for the playoff. We're not talking about the NFL. We're not talking about resting Will Johnson because he's hurt and he wants to make sure he's going to be a first-round pick and end up being a second-round pick, and he's been a hell of a player for Arizona. But it's not that. You would think it mattered. It's always been considered the best rivalry among the best rivalries in sports. And if it's going to be tainted where players are going to be resting because the coaching staff is telling them we want you for the postseason, for the playoff run, then then hell has kind of frozen over when it comes to college football.
Question, real quick, do you think Army-Navy is the last true college football rivalry at this point?
What? Hell no. It's Michigan-Ohio State. It's decided the national championship, the last 5 years in a row? It's directly affected the national championship.
You're going to make this man feel disgusted. Come on, Ryan.
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to, to a certain extent, I'm going to side with Ryan, and here's why. If we're going to adopt Justin's mindset, then the rivalry doesn't mean as much. Right. Is that a fair conclusion? If you're resting your stars when you're playing your arch enemy, somebody who you won't even mention. Michigan calls them Ohio, not Ohio State. Ohio calls them the team up north. If you hate them that much and you're resting your best players, does that taint the rivalry? Simple yes or no.
But you're talking about something that hasn't happened yet.
I know.
So I'm not speaking in hypotheticals. The question you asked me was currently. It wasn't about years later when this changes, and the answer is no. It's still Michigan, Ohio State.
I agree with Braylon in that regard, but if it does change, if what Justin says comes true, and what Braylon said Ryan Day, he could see him doing that, then I agree with you, because nobody's sitting that game out. It means way too much for them. I would argue they don't even contemplate that.
Nope.
Okay? And now they're not playing for as much, in fairness, in terms of a national championship. No offense to Army or Navy, they're not winning a national title. But they don't want to sit those things out. Whereas if it's a big if, that's adopted, that mindset of Michigan, Ohio State, we're going to rest for the playoffs, then it doesn't mean as much as we originally thought it would. And don't compare it to the Yankees and Red Sox and some of the other big rivalries in sports in general. When we come back, the best segment you'll have all week. The best segment this network airs, and the best in the market. It's Braylon's Breakdown, and it's coming up after this from Smoothie King, who I wish were here today.
That can always be possible. Check this out, man. Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week. You know Fridays are now my favorite day. Scan the QR code to be a part of it. Nominate a Detroit area high school athlete today. And when you nominate this, make sure they fit the criteria. Make sure the grades are right. Make sure the play is around the field. And make sure they are team-oriented. Check this out. Recovery is where winners are made. And Smoothie King has the clean ingredients, real fruit, and protein to help refuel and get you back in the game. And that's why we partner up with these young high school athletes. And we already have the High School Athlete of the Week, and we will review it tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. It is another good one. A special shout out to Lee Foundation for making this possible. Lee helps provide student athletes with tools to excel, reaching their academic and athletic goals as we try to impact the community. Also, these smoothies are fire, man. And the menu, you got to check it out. It's newly revamped for you.
In the words of my friend Braylon Edwards, the smoothies are dope, but can I just tell you one thing that's really underrated at Smoothie King? It's those bowls, those acai bowls with the fruit on top, and the granola on top. It's really, really good. I mean, it is super tasty. I had one last week when Braylon brought them in. I can't wait to have another one. I also can't wait to, when you know that the Cold weather's coming. You want to get bundled up. You want to get nice and warm. You need a blanket. Well, you don't necessarily always need the blanket if you got the heater on, right? You want to make sure the heat is proper. In the summertime, you want to make sure your air conditioning units are proper. You want to make sure your indoor air quality is proper. You want to make sure your water heater is fine. Your whole home generator is kicking on when it should be. How do you make sure of that? You go to Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been doing this stuff for well over 40 years, treating you like family. And right now, DTE gas customers get a free furnace tune-up through December 1st. That's right, a free furnace tune-up if you're a DTE gas customer through December 1st at Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. You can get a hold of them by calling them 734-238-3839. Scan the QR code above my head and make sure you tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith.
New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Looking for a way to support local athletes with physical disabilities? Athletes Unlimited, a Michigan-based nonprofit, has one simple mission, and it's breaking down the barriers so that everyone can enjoy the athletic experience. Look, man, I have literally gone to events with Dr. Pierce and his Athletes Unlimited athletes, and they're some of the best athletes in this world. I'm talking gold medalists. I'm talking about professionals. And they do it at a high level, and they love the impact of sports. They love it just the same way as we do. So why don't you get a part of that, man? Help Dr. Pierce. Go to Athletes Unlimited, and you can see how you donate. Now, getting back to Dr. Pierce, you know he's the guy. He's the injury insider. He's also the guy to get you right. Any injury that you might have or anything you want diagnosed, maybe you got a little something in your shoulder. You don't know exactly what it is. Dr. Pierce and his crew will. 248-426-9944 or scan the QR code above my head.
I love pizza. I'm not afraid to admit it. I know Braylon doesn't eat it quite as often as I do. That's okay.
Still love it.
But I know he loves it. Justin loves it. I'm telling you, Ryan loves it. It brings you to a happy place. It makes you smile. And Buddy's Pizza is the best there is. It's a Detroit-style pizza. We brag about it. We brag about it for good reason, not just because there's 22 locations, but because they were the original. They've been doing it, since for 79 years. Strong in the community, strong in the kitchen, right? And it is as good as it gets. And right now, they want not just you to get the pizza, they want to help you save some money. You get 10% off your entire order if You use the promo code when you order 10MEAL, 10 MEAL. Find the nearest Buddies in your area by going to buddiespizza.com.
You know what? For people to always complain about not having money, that's why you got to come to the show and mess with the vibe and see what we do. We get you 10% off Buddies, which is the best pizza in the state, probably the best pizza nationally. You also get free appetizers if the Lions win. You get discounts off of Black Rock Bar and Grill. We got deals at Planet Fitness. Tell you what, money is tight, but it won't be tight if you mess with us.
It's a good point.
It is. You just got to budget the right way. We get you tight.
That's right.
100%.
I mean, Black Rock has got outstanding food for $20. Where can you find that?
And less.
You get 10% off Buddy's Pizza. You go to Art and Jake's.
There you go.
You get a live show. You get to watch something in comfort with great food and good beer, and you're never going to be turning your neck to say, where's the TV that I want on? I was in Florida last weekend playing golf and went to a place and I thought, man, I wish there was an Art and Jake's here because I'm looking at TVs. Somebody had a television show on that they couldn't change. I said, is there any way you could put the football game on here and the baseball game on here? I'm not high maintenance. I just want to watch those two things at the same time.
Don't worry. Smoothies are next. We will get you a deal of Smoothie King. That's coming up. I guarantee it.
Or that
like my guy
bowl.
used to say,
dude,
man.
the bowl that you got last week was so money.
We get deals on that.
Yeah, avocado toast mucked last time.
See, Justin knows.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll have it tomorrow.
See, Justin likes it because he hides it all in his beard, and then he can have it a little bit later on in the day. All right, it's time for the best segment in Detroit sports, radio, TV, stream, whatever you want to call it. It is Braylon's Breakdown. We should have this big montage to open this segment. We'll get that done, but in the meantime, we're going to do this. We're going to do Braylon's Breakdown here as they get ready for Tampa. What do you got for us today?
So, as we get ready for Tampa, and I just kind of alluded to it in terms of how the secondary has been for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are used to giving up big yardage to big receivers, small receivers. It doesn't matter. Receivers in general and quarterbacks have literally had a field day. Detroit has to do a little bit of that this week coming up. You got to tap back into using the pass to get the run game open. I know the run is what we do. I alluded to it. The play action last year, the play action the year before, it's what really worked, and we're not getting that going. You got to use what you're having in the first drive, the first couple of drives. You've been using Sam Laporte a lot. You've been using J-Mo a lot. There's another person that I want you to use. There's another guy that I want you to consider using. That's a guy by the name of Isaac Teslaa. Yes. I'm bringing Isaac Teslaa back. Simply put, we've seen these highlights already, but I'm going to just show you again. I'm going to tell you why you need Isaac Teslaa. The Lions don't have anybody right now that's winning 50-50 balls. 50-50 balls allow you a chance to just give you a target. Isaac Teslaa, who will be in the slot on this play, 6'4", 218 pounds, 220 pounds, and the guy has ball skills. He can run the routes, but he makes the plays when you give him opportunity. Make it easy for yourself. Like Jared Goff, wouldn't you like to have Isaac Teslaa line up and I got a legitimate shot to get a big play for a touchdown, a big play for a catch and run, big play for a catch, or a pass interference? I like those odds. This is Isaac Teslaa in the slot in the preseason against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is just going to be a pick play. Right receiver comes in here, gets a little pick. Isaac Teslaa comes up here, easy catch and throw. But just pay attention to the body size. The body size is what I want the Lions to go after. I want them to use his body size, his frame, to make more plays than they're doing. Hit play for me, Ryan. Boom, boom. Receiver does a good job on the inside of actually running the route so that it's not fake, so it's not called an illegal screen, illegal pick. Receiver does a good job. He runs. He does a good job. Run, fake. Comes off his butt and then keeps it tight. Hit play. Comes off his butt, does a great job. Defender gets lost. It's not so much the defender we're worrying about. Now, rewind it back. It's the high pointing. Rewind it back. Now, hit play. And I want you to do as good of a job as you can, Ryan, pausing when he gets to the end zone. You can try that pointer. I don't think it's going to work. Keep going. Watch when he high points it. Get to the point where he high points it. Pause. Who on the Detroit Lions is doing this right now? Is Amon-Ra St. Brown getting up off the ground this high to where, look where this defender's head is? The defender hasn't even turned around. The defender hasn't even gotten off the ground because Teslaa does such a great job of actually jumping at high point so the defender takes himself out of the play. If he doesn't catch this play, which guess what? It's a tud. If he doesn't catch it, the defender's not even looking at him. What is he going to do? He is going to go through Isaac Teslaa. Now, rewind it all the way back. Rewind it all the way back. Where'd the play start at? All right, didn't start as far as I wanted to. But now you go from the 12 to the 1-yard line. And unlike the Baltimore Ravens, who have Derrick Henry, we have David Montgomery, who should have got the ball on the 1-yard line. Yes, I'm going to make it a Marshawn Lynch Super Bowl conversation. Hit play. This is just an easy little throw for Jared Goff. This is essentially a fade route. He high points the ball. He turns. He catches it. He gets out. Like, this is just an easy little fade. He knows it all along. Hit play. Knows what he's going to do. He's going to high point it. And look, he jumps before the defender gets a chance. If he doesn't catch this ball once again, defender pushes through. Because, look, the ball's about to come down. He has to turn back. It's pass interference. This is PI. This gets you a free down at the 1-yard line. Go to the next play. All right, this is the play. Now, this is a great touchdown in the sense of, look, this isn't man-to-man. This is actually zone. Like, Jared Goff's really not supposed to throw this pass. This pass is not supposed to be completed for a touchdown. It's zone. DB's trying to protect 2-3 yards before the end zone, not thinking the ball's going to go there. Hit play. Jared Goff says, the hell with it. The game's over. Let's give him a rep. And then look at this. Just look at the reach. I mean, you guys have seen this play a million times. Look at the reach. Jared Goff threw a dime. We need more of that this week. Just the reach from here to here, and then to be able to make the play, hit play, let it run. And then we'll catch this one from the back. Copy. I take. The ref is completely, he doesn't know what happened. He's like, there's no way he caught this in bounds. It's no way. Look at the type of playmaking ability that Teslaa has. And I'm not asking you to take away from Sam Laporta, who's playing very well for Jared Goff. I'm not asking you to take away from Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is playing well but a little bit stagnant over the last 4 games with the exception of Cincinnati. I'm not asking you to take away from Jameson Williams in the beginning drives for the Detroit Lions. You can find 3 passes to throw this man the ball in one-on-one coverage. Your odds go up. You got a 6'4" frame, athletic ability, 218, can run routes, and he has this ability as well. Why not take a chance on that? I'm taking the 50-50 ball with Teslaa every time, 3 times a game, and you don't take away from anybody else. Go to the next one, please, Ryan. Like, this isn't me trying to tell them what they're doing is wrong. This is just simply saying you can add this too. This is a fun one. 4th and 3. I think it's 4th and 3. 4th and 3, middle of the field almost, hit play. He's going to get pressed at the line of scrimmage. I don't like this for him. But I guarantee he's worked on that. They watched the film. His hands on the outside. DB got to him first. You don't want to see that. But keep letting it go. Watch what he does. He sits in the zone. We'll see the back copy too. Sits in the, watch as his size. Look at this. His 3rd down right here. Being 6'4", look to where he gets. Just falling forward. Hit play. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Initially an extra 5 yards. Why can't you use him on 3rd down? Because you have been struggling a little bit on 3rd down. Quick note. This year, you are, what did I write down? 40% on 3rd down. We need extra possessions. You need first downs. Last year, number 4 in the NFL, 47%. That's how many more times you got the ball. That's how many times you extended the drive. 47%, you were 4th. This year, you're 17th in the league. You're in the middle of the pack. So you see him right there, 4th and 3, catches the ball. Fall forwards, gets another 4.5 yards, give or take. It's an 8-yard play when it wouldn't have been such. Do we have one more? And then this is the game.
Can I just go back to that real quick?
Please, go ahead.
Well, you said you didn't like what he did here, and you're positive that he will have gotten better at that. What should he be doing there?
6'4", get your hands up. 6'4", you don't let this is a little guy. This is a little dude. You don't allow him to get his hands in your breastplate to stop the route. Because real talk, he was late to the route because he got pressed.
So
he's supposed to have his hands up.
So if I'm here and I get just wipe it
100%. Or you take him this way, so now he opens up this way. You open up with this hand and then push him here and then still run across. But he didn't keep his hands up, had his hands down, and then he got pushed back. But luckily, he's a big dude. Yeah. He's able to get off, replace, he's got speed, and make it happen. Next play.
By the way, Braylon's still strong.
Chicago game. Once again, they love this bunch motion, this bunch formation. The reason why they love it is because for a big guy, you get outside, the DB has to widen with you. It's easier for the wide receiver with this size and the quarterback to drop the ball in the bucket, and also you get the man-to-man. Hit play. All right, man-to-man coverage, outside release. He just took off. Automatically, Jared Goff knows where he's going with this ball. Once again, Once again, take it back. This is 1st and 10, 21 seconds. Look where the ball is. The ball is on the 33, 34, give or take. This is called effort. This is called effort, legitimately. The name of this play, when I played for the Seattle Seahawks, was effort. It's either going to be a touchdown, it's either going to be a pass interference, or it's going to be an incomplete. We're still kicking the field goal because we have Jake Bates as our kicker. This is called the hell with it. The hell with it. Let's see, they clock it, and the next play, you know who scored a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is something that can help you. This is another play. It's not a forced play. It's an organic play. You take a shot because it's there. This isn't taken away from Laporta. This is not taking away from J-Mo. This is what you can do. Now, sticking with the theme of wide receiver, or is Alim next? Sticking with the theme of wide receiver, hit play. It doesn't matter. Put either one. Put them both up here, one by one. Pass the ball on the secondary, and remember the receivers that you have. Amon-Ra St. Brown against Chicago. His favorite routes to run are in-breaking routes, little crosses, little overs, or 15-yard digs where he has room to work. Hit that copy. He actually slips at the top, but his feet are so good. Watch him slip right there. He got right up out of it. Slipped at the line of scrimmage. His feet still smooth. So he slips when he tries to make a miss. Up, a little stumble, but his feet so good. Look, still makes that separation, creates separation, catches it, he gets gone. This guy's on your team. Hit the next one. This guy's on your team too. Hit play. Oh yeah, you know where I'm going. Come on, J-Mo.
Waymo.
Come on, Waymo. He doesn't just have to be a deep threat for you. He's a guy that can run routes. This is quick first down. It's, 2nd and 6. He gets you 7 yards on a quick little outbreaking route, probably a little quick stick. That's what we call that. Gets the first down. Don't forget he's there. Use the receivers this game. You got to use the receivers this game. Now, flipping on the defensive side of the ball, somebody is back, and we're very excited about that. We need the defensive press on the defensive line.
All right, you know what? Let's do that. We're going to do that, but can we save this for 1 second? Let's go to break, and when you come back, we're going to get Alim McNeill and what he means to this defense. That was great stuff on the wide receivers.
This guy right here, he knows what he's doing.
I would also ask you this, just on that quick out with J-Mo that you just talked about, those can be back-breaking and demoralizing plays too, because you view him as a guy who is constantly going vertical. It's 2nd down and 6, and then boom, he gets a first down like that.
You know what, you stick with those 100%, what they could implement this week, a little bit of change-up. What do people go with when it's a change-up on the offensive side? When you got a defense that's beat up, you got a defense that's weak in the secondary.
Out and up.
Not only that, though, from the line of scrimmage, you go huddle, no huddle. You go fast. You wear that defense down. They're already a bad secondary. They're already a hampered defense. You go no huddle, all the weapons you have, and now you can interchange guys. Hey, Khalif, get the play in.
Yeah.
Hey, Teslaa, go in there real quick. Hey, J-Mo, switch out. Hey, Gibbs, switch out, put Demo in there. That's something that they could do against this defense.
Sounds like a coach to me. Sounds like a great game plan, too. Let's see if that will be implemented Monday night. Maybe we bring this back a little bit on Monday for those who may have missed it. You don't want to miss Braylon's breakdown. When we come back, he switches sides. He goes to the defensive side of things. A guy coming back for the Lions is really important, Alim McNeill. What have they missed? He'll show you when we come back after this with Braylon's breakdown here on the Braylon Edwards Show. You're missing really good savings if you're not going to Les Stanford and LesStanford.com. Les Stanford Buick and GMC has some of the best deals you can imagine out there. They think about you when they're putting together these deals. Look at this. The Equinox EV, $229 a month with tax. The Lyric SUV lease special, $489 a month. Plus tax. And then the Hummer. I was just driving earlier today, picked my son up from a stop, and I said, hey, what do you think of those Hummers? And he's like, man, those are sweet. I said, I'm thinking about getting one. I definitely want to test drive it. Where are you going? I'm going to Les Stanford Buick and GMC. Right now, they've got them on an unbelievable deal, $599 a month plus tax. Check them out today. Go to LesStanford.com.
Let's get a car wash because the weather is nice. The extended summer is still going on. Woodward Sports, we're working with Jax. We want to get you a car wash, man. Why don't you text WSN into 888-522-1729. That gets you a free car wash. Join the Unlimited Club and take advantage of all the perks of being a member. Wash at any of our 40 locations around the state. And once again, man, this is what it is. Membership gets you access to car washes every day of the week, however many you need. Free vacuums, free compressed air, free mat cleaning rooms. They got it all. They will get your car spit shine. You old school, you know about that spit shine. See you at Jack soon.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face.
New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Looking for plans that sizzle? Check this out. Dinner plans that sizzle. Why don't you go to Black Rock Bar and Grill? You know how we feel about them. They are the spot, and they got great deals for you. $19.99 steak and lobster. That's a limited deal, man, but you got to check it out. Now, also, there's the Braylon's beef, the 20-ounce New York strip. That's right. I know you got jokes, but I'm not joking about the steak. It is fire, and then you know they cook at 755 degrees on that volcanic rock, man. This is the place for you. So good. Also, the fish and chips. If steak isn't your speed, I don't know why it wouldn't be, but hey, no judgment here, like Planet Fitness, but with Black Rock Bar and Grill, they also give you a chance to be a part of the action. If the Lions win, you win. The Detroit Lions win this Monday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Come on into a Black Rock Bar and Grill by you on Tuesday. You get yourself a free appetizer. I told you, we only partner with winners, and that's what winners do. These deals will not last long, so take advantage while they're here at Black Rock Bar and Grill.
Can I make a recommendation on the appetizers?
Go.
I mean, I'm a little partial, but that shrimp the other day.
Oh, their shrimp is so good.
Was that not really good? I mean, it's like that bang bang shrimp that is so good. Some of the chicken, the tender chicken that was rolled in some really good. I mean, the chicken mac and wings. Cheese. I mean, I'm hungry just thinking about it. It's so good, man. It's so good. I was looking through the door here earlier, and a buddy of mine, Tommy, came in, and he's walking around. I'm like, I can't believe my buddy's coming in here. He's getting his hair cut. And he sits down right there in the sink, and I looked at him. He looks at me. So I go over and we start talking to him. Lovely young lady who's there getting there, washing his hair, and they're talking, and they're having a great time talking about golf, talking about boat on the lake, and all this other stuff. And it really makes you feel comfortable. He goes, I love coming here. And who wouldn't at Lady Jane's? And that's true, because it's really easy. He just walked in. He said, this is the day. It is Thursday. Braylon says it all the time. It's Haircut Thursday. He comes in here, sits down. Next thing you know, he's like, hey, Shep, I'll see you later. I'm like, man, you're done already? Yes, he was done. It's simple. It's easy. It's convenient. It's Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome. I will say this. It's not quite as awesome as Braylon's breakdown. It's pretty close, but it's getting there. Coming up also, Dr. Jeffrey Pierce will join us. We will talk about some of the injuries that are taking place in the National Football League this weekend. Don't think we have to worry about any injuries with the Dodgers and Brewers or the Mariners and Blue Jays unless Seattle's pitching staff's ego is hurt just a little bit, thanks because of George Kirby and the amount of runs he gave up last night in Toronto's 5 homers. Yeah. So we'll keep it to football. In the meantime, let's get back to Braylon's breakdown. We saw a fantastic breakdown of the wide receivers, Isaac Teslaa, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams. Now we go to the other side of the ball. Alim McNeill is back. For the first time this year, he makes his debut. He will debut against Tampa. What have we been missing with the big fella inside?
I'm going to tell you about this. We're excited to have McNeill back in this defense. You cannot replace what he does. He is the best in the league at what he does at his size. He is a disruptor in the pass game. He is a disruptor in the run game. And the physicality and athleticism, I'm not going to say they're bar none, but they're close.
You don't see it very often, do you?
He's legitimately a player that you don't see around the NFL. But luckily, Detroit Lions have him. All right, here we go. This is against the Carolina Panthers last season. You see the big fella right here. He's lined up both the left guard and the center. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to double-team him, take him out of the play, create a room for this Chuba, create a space for him to run, watch what they do. He'll take the guy over here, and they're trying to create a little bit of lane right here, a little bit of running lane right here. Watch how Alim McNeill just blows this up. Here we go, hit play. This is the pure power that they talk about. Takes on 2 guys, takes them laterally, sideways. This is what you want to do as a defender. Take it back. Not only does he get that, he gets a fumble with that. What you want to not get, you don't want to get moved back. You don't want the defenders to move, the offensive line to move you back. That creates the lane, that creates space and opportunity for the running back. What you want to be able to do as this point, the point person, you want to be able to manhandle these guys and keep them going lateral so you allow the play to have to drag this way to bring everybody else to the play. Now hit play and watch him in the play. 68 and 56 do nothing. 56, a waste of space, a waste of time. And also it allows big 54. Now the ball's out. Ball's out. We're on the ground. I ski. Pick it up. We got it. Just that pure pressure, that pure power. He takes on 2 guys and allows somebody else to make the play, and he also still gets the fumble. Here we go. This is Justin Fields. So this is a couple years ago. Alim McNeill is lined up over the right guard. Now, remember I talked about the speed, also the athleticism. He's not just a big guy that's strong. He's a guy with some elite feet, if you will. This is the big fella, 320 he's going. Look at him standing up right here. Hit play. Oh, look. Fakes like he's going to do a spin move right here. You know how strong you have to be? You know how strong you have to be just to up and under a right guard like that? One power move, puts it in the ground, lifts him off his feet. Watch his feet. Lifts him off his feet with one arm, the right arm. Let me see it. Yep, off his feet, gets to the quarterback. Now the athleticism, the speed and power, it makes it hard for the quarterback to read. Alim's lined up in the middle. Typically what we have, love what Talik Williams is doing, love what DJ Reader is doing. They're playing good ball. They can't move like this. They can't disrupt the pass like this. You legitimately have to pay attention to Alim. When you have to pay attention to Alim, who do you forget about? Yes, you guessed it. You forget about 97. Now Justin Fields has to worry about this guy, so he's going to do one of 2 things. He's going to pat, hold, and run into Aiden Hutchinson, which is now another sack, making the sack number 8 for the season, or rush the throw. Now he's throwing an interception, or he's throwing the ball out of bounds. Let's see what happens. Hit play, tosses him up. He's worrying about Alim. Now he has to throw the ball fast. Throws the ball out of bounds. Rewind it a little bit. That's the other side you're excited about. Him coming back makes it easier for Aiden.
Yeah.
Like Aiden can now get to that defensive player of the year when he's got the big guy right here.
The pressure up the middle, the pressure in the face of quarterbacks, it's different, isn't it?
It's what makes Aaron Donald so good.
Oh, my
It's
God.
what makes Chris Jones so good. They get that type of pressure. It's almost like an outside rush pressure, but they get it through the middle. Like, this is a type of move that you see on the outside. Hit play again.
It also forces your eyes. The quarterback oftentimes, sometimes they'll look down at this guy because they see
100%. Now they're looking here as opposed to here, as opposed to there. You know who else looks like this on the outside? Micah Parsons. This is a Micah Parsons rush. And he's how much lighter than Alim McNeill? Hit play. That looks like Micah Parsons game 1 against Panay Sewell. Not for Panay to catch a stray. But that's what that looks like. He's 330 and he's your D tackle.
Dude, that's a strong man. You just threw a 300-pound man like you threw aside me.
And still got to the quarterback. Hit play.
Right.
Yeah, this is what you're getting in Alim McNeill, man. He's a player that just creates so much positivity because he's also a positive player. That's what his teammates talk about, captain positivity. But when he gets in between these hashes, he's not captain positivity. He's captain badass. Hit play. And this is just over the center. Look, comes all the way around. This is hit play. Hit play.
That's a good spin.
He works off 3 people on this play.
Yeah.
Hit play. Play. Starts off left guard. Engages center. Starts left guard. Engages past the center all the way to the right guard. Then engages center and spins on the center.
Yeah.
Like, this is what the Detroit Lions are missing in this middle. No disrespect to the 2 big fellas playing well. Hit play and watch it.
Yeah. You gave DJ Reader love yesterday, just so people know.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, this is elite. This is elite feet, elite speed, power, and also takes care of the quarterback, but gets him on the ground. Like, this is what you're missing.
And he's going up against a double team with, I mean, no shade on Aiden Hutchinson. He's up against a single.
See, this is a couple years ago.
Yeah.
This is when Aiden was Mr. Hurry guy.
Yeah.
And now Mr. Sack guy. So he's not this guy anymore. So we're gonna forgive Aiden for this right here. Big fella worked off 3 guys. Hey, this is who you're missing. I know. And now this guy is coming back to be out there with DJ Reader as well as 2 Will and offer one-on-ones to 97. Didn't we see him beat a triple team this year?
Should be feasting.
And then do we have anything else? That was the last one. So that's the last one. But this is who you're excited to have back. Just one more time. The athleticism of a man, 325. He's floating 325, 320. I know I keep changing. He's somewhere between 330, 315, give or take. Like, he comes across, swim moves inside, and reverses off. This is a lot in one play for a big man.
Yeah.
Play. Boom. Spins off. Violent, aggressive. Yeah. Because you're not the last thing I'll say, and I appreciate you guys for joining the crew, you're not as a quarterback expecting the nose tackle. You're not expecting him to be this athletic to where he can get blocked, pushed out of a play by 2 people, spin move, and re-welcome himself to the play. Last time, Geno Smith thought Alim McNeill was done. Yeah. He thought it was over, thought he was going to get pushed down, and nope, he's not down. It's a sack.
Braylon, he's not going up against, with all due respect, tight ends. He's going up against 3 300-pound men on that one play and still getting home.
Because, like, look at Geno Smith right now. He's in a space where he's completely thinking, Alim McNeill's out of the play.
That's actually Aiden O'Connell, I believe.
Excuse me, Aiden O'Connell.
That's all right.
I'm thinking about this year. You're right.
Oh, that's Jimmy G? That's Jimmy Garoppolo? Okay, my bad.
You can tell by the shirt.
Yeah, that's true. Good call, Justin.
Yeah, 100%. This is a guy that the Lions – I'm out of the frame. This is a guy that the Lions have missed. They get him back in whatever capacity, whether it's 10 plays, whether it's 12 plays, whether it's 15 plays. You can zoom back out, Jay.
Yeah, that's,
you get him back, and this is what he brings to the table. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that is on fire right there. I mean, that is such great stuff. Really appreciate it. I love learning all the time. You learn a little bit more each time on Braylon's Breakdown. We hope you do too. Dr. Jeffrey Pierce is supposed to join us, so looking forward to that. Quick timeout before we get to that, and a whole lot more here as we get ready to wrap things up on a busy Thursday here on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports.
Boom.
Audio person should turn on their microphone. If you are looking,
that helps.
If you're looking to upgrade your relaxation game, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan that QR code above my head. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
And before you recover, make sure you check out Wicked Pickle. Looking for the ultimate pickleball experience? Well, check out Wicked Pickle, Metro Detroit's hottest indoor pickleball spot with 10 climate-controlled courts, daily open play for all levels, the chill lounge with TVs, ping pong tables, and cold drinks. It's always game on, rain or shine. They host parties from 10 to 200 guests. Don't miss out at the APA Michigan Gold Cup November 22 to 23. Sign up at pickleballtournaments.com and make sure you mark your calendars for Woodward Sports Pickleball Party January 9th. Details coming soon.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faiths.
New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season
And take advantage of our $20 haircut special.
Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you about Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code or use code Woodward1000. If your first bet does not hit, you get that bet right back. Maximum of $1,000, minimum bet of just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan that QR code.
And in the words of Kool-Aid, we back. Welcome back. My apologies. On me, Dr. Jeffrey Pierce won't be with us today, so we don't get a chance to look at some of the injuries. But we do know this, that there was a little bit of an injured ego in the National Football League this week, and it was Tua Tagovailoa, who I liked coming out of Alabama. Didn't want him as a Lions quarterback. I didn't think he was going to be a good NFL quarterback, but he sure seemed to me to be a guy who's got his head on straight and seems to be a pretty good leader. He said something 2 weeks ago, not this past weekend, but 2 weeks ago, or no, it was this past weekend, I apologize, where he was complaining openly in a post-game press conference about players being late to players-only meetings and how it starts at the top. Yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, but I think it was yesterday, Tua Tagovailoa had this to say about his reaction in the heat of the moment, not an Asia song, but a heat of the moment. Listen to this.
As a leader of this team, of the Miami Dolphins, the comments that had been said, I would say I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it.
But a technical difficulty, here it is. Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins, the comments that had been said, I would say I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it.
That's an important step. I thought it was odd when he first complained about it that he did not mention me or I, as in himself. So that is concerning. I don't think any athlete or any coach should be airing quote-unquote dirty laundry in the media. If you were part of that team and he said what he said before and then comes out with a mea culpa and says he apologizes, how important is that to you, and what do you think it means?
Nah, that's BS. At the end of the day, you said what you said. I prefer you to stand on business out in public. This was made to do by, probably maybe not Mike McDaniel. I'm not sure he's that smart right now, but this was had a conversation by the media people, Miami Dolphins. This is what we're going to do. You're going to go out here and you're going to apologize. I would have stood on business. This is a different day and age. You can say and be who you feel. If you feel like this is what's going on, technically you didn't call anybody out individually. You called out players that are on your team. I disagree with what he did, but stand on it. If this is what you feel is going on, then admit it. This is what happened. This is what I feel. Stand on that business. Don't come back and apologize because it's fake. Now, if you want to come up behind closed doors and talk to me and say, hey, look, I got a little this at the podium or a little frustrated or that's some BS, but I appreciate you coming to me as a man because I know you were talking about me and it's all, you can't do that. We'll figure it out. But going back to the podium, I'm never doubling down and coming back and saying, I'm sorry. I know I'm not. Like, he means what he says. Now, regardless of how bad he's playing or not, 114 yards, 3 interceptions, regardless of that, you still have to include yourself into the equation.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on the podium aspect. If he apologized behind closed doors with his teammates, as a teammate and a brother, and because of how much time you guys spend with one another and what you go through, I'm going to take him at his word. But once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of people who are a little careful around Tua Tagovailoa after what he said last weekend.
Yeah, but this team has been falling apart for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's just only a matter of time before he's no longer the quarterback, before Mike McDaniel is no longer the head coach. This was hit on this trajectory at the end of last season.
Yeah.
How that ended. Tariq Hill, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you on my
You
service.
can see it, right?
You can 100% see it. I asked the question about Tua. How much of Tua is it this do we include in the concussion aspect of what Tua has done?
I think it's a fair question. How much of it is system
100%.
and how much of it is him? And if it is system, is it Mike McDaniel's system and a new coach coming in, and this is all an assumption on my part, a new coach coming in, then being able to tailor his system to Tua Tagovailoa, or has a system that requires a different quarterback? Those are so many questions that need to be answered by people smarter and in higher positions than I am, but those are some of the things that ran through my head when I heard his apology.
Because it's an interesting one. You look at the situation, outside of, with last game, let's see, with the Chargers, He was 205, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to the game before that. It was 256, 3 touchdowns, 122 rating. Game before that, 177, 2 touchdowns, 114 rating. Game before that, 146, 2 touchdowns, interception, 81. 315, 1 touchdown the game before that. So is there something there that it will take different air, a different situation, and maybe a different helmet to figure out? Or is this erratic play become the definition of Tua?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. If you were and I don't think there are many out there, but if you're a Miami Dolphins fan.
Yeah, I would have been off Tua.
Yeah. Not only that, but it's just, you can see it coming. Look, we're used to this in Detroit. We've seen this. We've lived it. We've experienced it rather regularly before Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got here. You can see the unraveling of a team. There are so many glaring signs. And when you have who's supposed to be your leader, and I don't care who you are, I don't care what sport you're playing, if your quarterback, the most important position, isn't a leader, then you've got issues.
Yeah.
And he's out there saying what he said. I can't imagine many players, I haven't seen any interviews with players, I can't imagine many players being accepting of what he said originally. And I think publicly they would say they're accepting of the apology, but deep down inside, they might be a little bit regretful.
Also, he's got to get out of the past. A lot of times he came back to the podium. Now, you talked 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he did have the conversation about saying, Brian Flores messed him up considerably, and a lot of the damage that was done. Get over it. Like, you ain't the first person that got screwed over by a head coach. You won't be the last person to get screwed over by a head coach. Like, you have to let that go. Like, and this isn't me coming sideways at you. Like, you got to go to therapy or something. You have to let that go.
It sounds like excuses, doesn't it, Braylon?
It does. And if you allow Brian Flores, who hasn't been there in 5 years now or 4 years now, if you allow him to continue to be the excuse to pull you down, he's moved on to greener pastures. He's now the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, and a damn good one at that. You got to find a way to let that go and move forward.
So you've got one guy doing that, and then let's take it to the other extreme. A guy who Lions fans love. I know you and I both admire what he does on the football field and as a leader. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has a very popular podcast. Recently, while we were complaining about referees in the Kansas City game, what was he saying on his podcast? Take a listen to this.
A lot of fans talk about, the Chiefs and the refs on the same team. In watching this game, even though they say the refs were for the Chiefs, which was crazy. I mean, they only called like maybe 1 or 2 penalties on the Chiefs, which were declined. But, bro, watching it on TV, the one Travis Kelce pass interference, if anything, it was illegal contact. Like the ball wasn't even in the air when he fucking like hit him. It's like some of these calls, I'm like, bro, what is going on? Travis Kelce, that was not catch. But I think, did they go fast after that? They went on the ball, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Bro, yeah, it was. What do you feel like just watching the game, not seeing any flags getting thrown? Like,
honestly, like when we're in the when I'm in the game, I don't even really like this. I didn't even see like half the stuff that.
It was mainly on your defense, It was mainly
stuff that's going on. Like, I don't even see during the game. Yeah. And when after the game, I go on my phone, I see all these. Oh, this should have been a penalty. This fans complaining, but honestly, for us, like especially the way I look at it, I feel like our team looks at it is we had plenty of chances to make plays in that game to win the game. Like the last thing any team should do is blame the ref for a loss. I feel like it's never up to the referees, and you can never leave it up to them. And I think that's what, some fans feel like we got robbed. I don't think we got robbed. I feel like we have plenty of plays. I had plays to make. We as a team have plenty of plays to make that we could have made that we, would have changed the game. So leaving it up to the refs, I don't think is right. They have a job to do. Could they have done a better job? Who knows? But when I'm out there, like I'm not even paying attention. I'm playing through the contact, whatever it is. And if they throw a flag, they throw a flag. But we gotta make the plays that come to us. We can't rely on the refs to win any game.
Response. Absolutely love it. I mean, again, credit, accountability, take ownership of something. Don't blame somebody else. Be better. That's basically what he's saying. Don't you love that about him?
This is why I appreciate him, and this is why I love his content, his character. Look, you weren't sitting there on Friday, and neither was Justin, but Ryan was. Ryan, what did I say about this game? What did it say as it relates to the penalties? We knew what the refs were going to do. We know what we hear as it relates to the Kansas City Chiefs, always siding with the refs siding for the Kansas City Chiefs. I said, don't make this game close. I said, don't give the refs a chance to intervene. Don't give the refs a chance to decide this game. And in Amon-Ra St. Brown's words, they allowed themselves to be in this position with bad plays, including himself. The reason why he's not talking about the ref, he dropped that pass. Refs didn't drop that pass.
Yeah.
Like, so I appreciate this about him, and this goes well in the locker room. This will get you through, and this can get you to the next space. But this is real. It's not about the refs. It's about them. Like, our angst about the refs was more so about the NFL and what the NFL is now doing. If the NFL is going to have people from New York intervening on the behalf of getting something right for the Chiefs, that's what I don't like. I don't like the NFL is going that particular way. But as it relates to making excuses for the Lions, absolutely not here. You guys lost that game.
Amen to that. Nitty Gritty put it really well. He said, "This is why I love Amon-Ra St. Brown as my wide receiver."
Facts. No emotion with it too. It was like, look, we gotta be better. Like that lets you know, like he was hurt, but they have plans for that hurt. They have plans for that disappointment of how they played, the disappointment of how they acted on that field. It's going to be very interesting what the game looks like on Monday.
Yeah, looking forward to that, and looking forward to more football talk here on the Braylon Edwards Show tomorrow and Monday, as well as we get you primed for
we got 2 more shows
Lions
for the game?
and the Bucs.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Monday Night Football.
Let's make sure we're getting those super chats and any chats that Justin feels worthy of putting in there. And, of course, we got the mailbag as well. We always do that right around this time every day on the Braylon Edwards Show. So, Justin, I don't think we have any more breaks, do we?
No,
right?
we do not.
We're all
but
caught
we
up.
do
So
have some super chats.
let's get those going there.
Really, Mr. Biggs with the $4.99 super chat. What up, though, Bray?
What up, though?
In lieu of the BB incident, do you have any stories about guys meeting up after a game or in the offense to stand on business?
So in lieu of the Brian Branch, okay, yeah.
I got 2 of them. One was Will Green, running back for the Cleveland Browns at the time, and Pittsburgh Steelers. He and Joey Porter got into a fight before the game started. Like, legitimately, in warm-ups, it was on site. They had been talking through the media, whatever the Pittsburgh Steelers newspaper is. What's Pittsburgh's news?
Tribune, I think.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Tribune.
Pittsburgh Tribune, and in the Plain Dealer, they were going back and forth, exchanging words and quotes. Good job by you, Justin. And eventually, when they got into the warm-ups, it came to a head. They got into a fight, and they didn't even make it to the game. Both were thrown out and fined. There was one locker room situation between Kevin Vickerson, who was a fullback for us with the Cleveland Browns, and he also played for the Cowboys for some years. He's a Pro Bowl fullback. He and Ray Lewis got into it during the game, and Ray told him to meet him after the game. And guess what? Kevin Vickerson met him after the game. They had words, and that had to get broken up. I was a part of that. I'll leave it there, but that was pretty fun.
Wow.
That was pretty fun.
All right.
That was pretty fun. The infamous, what was it, the Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Garnett? The situation that happened at the Madison Square Garden.
Okay. I thought it was the All-Star game, but okay.
No.
Okay.
This was in the game where they had words, and, Kevin Garnett mentioned Lala, which was Carmelo's wife at the time. Carmelo proceeds to follow him after getting ready on the bus. I was in attendance for that one.
Did not know that.
I was in attendance for that one.
And how did that shake down?
We're just now getting to the bottom of it, like years later.
Really?
Basically, Carmelo went on the bus, and he manned up. He said, "You got some words? What's up now?" And then all of a sudden, you know how basketball players are, "Man, you serious like that? We was just joking. It's just game. It's just you don't play about people's wives."
No. Yeah.
And he don't play about wives. And Carmelo, he meant that.
That's good. Good for him. There are certain lines that are crossed and that shouldn't be. Anything in the mailbag or any more super chats?
Yes, a couple mailbag questions about my Red Wings in particular.
Your
mailbag.
Red Wings. Oh,
don't the Red Wings seem faster this year?
I don't know if they seem faster, but they seem more physical. They seem tougher on the puck. This is an early observation. Tougher on the puck. There's a cliche in hockey, in the dirty areas. I think they seem to play better on the half wall and down below the net. I like that a lot. They seem to grind out pucks a little bit better. How much of that, to be honest with you, how much of that is Bernard Docker? How much of that is Sandin Pellikka? How much of that is some of the forwards in Brandseg, Nygaard? I don't know. But they do seem to
What's
have
his last name?
His Brandseg. I always thought it was Nygaard, but I thought they said Nygaard last night.
Well, the TNT broadcast is like that. I believe Ken Daniels says Nygaard.
Yeah, I thought it was Nygaard too. But with that said, it can be contagious. this is a Todd McClellan effect.
Absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned.
Right.
They are better. They seem to be better on special teams. And I know this is an early observation, but I think they are tougher to play against. I noticed that more than I noticed their speed.
Should Stevie White have made the move for Todd at the beginning of last season versus the halfway point?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I personally, I mean,
Okay.
I could easily fall into the trap and say, yeah, of course, because look
that's
at what
why I
they did.
asked you,
They
'cause
went
I
on
knew
a
you
run.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I would have stuck with him, but I'm glad he did make the change. I give him credit for making the change, and I think Todd McClellan's a really good hockey coach.
I think you saw Lalonde dead in the water before Steve Eisman actually did it. Like, I think that there was a very obvious point where there needed to be a coaching change in like early December, and it wasn't made until late December. In my personal opinion, I thought it could have been made 10 games before. They already looked like they were dead. They looked like they had no identity. They looked like their young players weren't growing like they are now. And there were clear signs that they should have made the move.
So that they would have a little bit of earlier point to have those games where, all right, new coach, figured it out, 10 games, boom, boom. And now that you got to that point, they would have started clicking faster for you think, a little bit?
I do think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the young players. I think when you look at what some of those guys did, Lucas Raymond grew pretty well. I remember one broadcast where Mickey Redmond called him a superstar. I wouldn't have gone that far. But if we're going to take Lalonde and tell people that he wasn't affecting a lot of the younger players, I could bring up an example of one or two who were growing under him. Now, that doesn't mean he shouldn't have been replaced 10 games earlier, like you said. But I do believe there are some guys who seem to make improvements under him.
Hold on real quick, not to cut you off, Jay, and the rest of the chat. Real quick, I would be remiss if I didn't say, what are our thoughts on Thursday Night Football tonight? You got a 42-year-old guy going against a 40-year-old guy, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, legitimately playing for every team in the AFC North this season. I think this game is going to be high scoring. I'm just going out on a limb. I'm going out on a hunch. I think this game is going to be high scoring to the point of, if it was a 50-point over, I would take it.
Might be high scoring for Pittsburgh. I don't know if it's going to be high scoring for Cincinnati.
I think it's going to be high scoring for Cincinnati as well.
Taking the Steelers.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Steelers as well, but I'm telling you,
Steelers. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Joe Flacco is going to find Higgins, Chase, and Brown tonight. I promise you that.
Who is Aaron Rodgers going to find, since a lot of his are dunk and dumps? He does not go deep like he used to in Green Bay, or even when he was with the Jets a year ago, where he threw for almost 4,000 yards.
Right. I think Freiermuth will be his open up, and then I think he will get the ball to his number one target, number 4. I think DK Metcalf will do something this game.
If they win
down the field,
and
because they haven't shown that they can go down the field, to your point.
Right. If they win and they improve to 5-1, are you buying in on them? Are you going to finally buy in on the Steelers?
No.
I said they would make the playoffs.
Yeah, I won't buy into them.
They haven't made it yet, but you were right. I think I had Cincinnati winning that division, and Baltimore getting in the playoffs. I didn't think Joe Burrow could get hurt, but I didn't think Pittsburgh would be like this.
I was tempted to say, based on the way the NFL has been this year, there are no juggernauts. Everybody's kind of meeting in the middle and figuring it out. Based on that, I could buy them. Based on that, but there's still 10 games left. That is plenty of time.
That's a ton of time.
That's a ton of time to fall by the wayside, which I think they're going to do.
Yeah, without a doubt. I look forward next week when you give us your top 10 and your top 5 per conference. And if Indianapolis wins again, I am excited to see where the Colts may be, because I just don't think there are 2 teams that people are not buying on. And one is Indy and one is Pittsburgh. And I get it. I'm just saying those are the 2 teams.
The only reason why people aren't buying Indy is because Daniel Jones.
Correct.
Like, if you would just separate your thoughts on Danny Dimes, it's Danny Dimes they don't believe in. They believe in Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
It's Danny Dimes. Everything about them is better. The defense is better. The coach is better.
Yeah.
The offense is better. Jonathan Taylor hasn't looked this good maybe since his second year when he really went off. Like JT looks good. The receivers for the Colts look good in Downs and Pittman, and then obviously Tyler Warren has been a godsend to them this year. They're the part. The only thing is you just don't trust the owner on the sideline with the headset and the quarterback.
That's right. And you think Daniel Jones, you think of the disaster that he was in New
York. He won a playoff game.
Yeah, but overall, people look at it as a disaster, giving up on a guy. there are certain games where look at Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield this week on Monday night. Yeah. Both of them were first overall picks. Both of them were given up on by those respective teams. Maybe there's a little bit more incentive there for Daniel Jones.
Couple teams for Baker.
Yeah, couple teams for Baker.
$2 super chat from Randall Smalls.
Rando.
Go Joe Flacco.
Say it again.
Go Joe Flacco.
I'm telling you, like after what. I'm actually cheering for both quarterbacks. I know we're up against this at the end of the show. I'm cheering for both quarterbacks. One thing about me, I can come up here and I can give some credit even if I don't like a person or even if someone does something different. You have to respect what Aaron Rodgers is doing this year because in my opinion, and me and my dad talked about this, he has taken himself out of the equation. Mm-hmm. For somebody as self-centered, egotistical as Aaron Rodgers to be able to do this at 42, I know the chips are on the line. You got to take your hat off to him because he's taking what's there. He's not messing this thing up. He's not making it about Aaron Rodgers. He's making it about the Steelers. Give him some credit because I didn't think that he would be here in this space. So I give you credit, my brother.
Disagree with any of that. Good stuff today. Fantastic stuff on the Braylon Breakdown as always. Our thanks to Ryan, Justin. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 2 o'clock here on a Friday tomorrow. All right. It will be a freaky Friday. We got good stuff, including the Smoothie King, Braylon Edwards, High School Athlete of the Week.
I love Jamie
Don't
Curtis,
miss
man.
it. We've got it tomorrow on the Braylon Edwards Show. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody.
Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.